A warm welcome, everybody, from a venue that has seen plenty of sensational laps over the years. Remember, Verstappen in 23, Vettel in 2019, some phenomenal pole laps. But whose will it be today?
Well, a very good evening, everybody, and welcome to Delta T Racing. It's Thursday night, so it's time for Division 2, round number 12. So it is the finale of season number 11. We obviously soon will be putting out... Sorry, just reading something on Discord. That soon we'll be putting out all the information with regards to sign-ups for season 12. So I hope as many of you will join us as possible, and anybody that's listening, if you pop in the description, you'll see the Discord link. It'd be lovely to have you join us. Obviously we'd like to expand as best we can, but anyway, back to tonight, round number 12. Daniel, first one out of the pits. Nothing really to play for tonight. As you can see, we have the Division 2 champion has already been crowned, Hammers, in the McLaren, so many congratulations to him. Stewart is in second place with he got an 18-point gap on Hummer, so Hummer can still claim second place in the championship. Hummer winning last time out, so on a bit of a streak at the moment, so he'll be looking at finishing the season as strongly as possible. And Jack, I think fourth place is pretty much cemented on for him. Bogrovsky in fifth, Mikey in sixth, and then we have Connor Cavolis, J5 Gaming, and Wazza rounding out the top 10. Similarly, in the constructors, we have McLaren have claimed their, I think it's third straight title. So 315 points against Alpine's 271, so an insurmountable tally there. Red Bull in third, so we've still got a battle on for the final step of the podium in the constructors, Red Bull and Aston Martin. I mean, Haas have an outside chance, but they would pretty much need a 1-2. Okay, so let's get rid of this and get back to what we're here for, which is tonight's racing. I have been told that it is a wet race today, so that's going to make it a little bit more interesting than perhaps it normally would. Who's going to be first then? So it is going to be our newly crowned champion Hammers. Will be first to set a lap, so we'll jump on board with him. In fact, we'll have a look from outside. It's much better. So yeah, wet race, going to make it interesting. Skipper has left the session. What we'll do as well, we'll have a quick look at Jokers. Who's playing their Joker tonight? Obviously, as we know, start from the back of the grid, but pick up double points should you finish in the top 10. We've got Cavolis, Riker, Daniel and Ralph Albers all playing their Jokers tonight. Double, the only one who's not been able to take it. I'm not sure if he's still going to do it tonight. And obviously us as admin will have a quick chat, seeing as it's the first season of the Joker system. So we really don't want to see people disqualified, but rules are rules at the end of the day. I think we're going to be looking at taking that forward into season 12. From reading feedback, it seems to have been quite popular. We're also going to have some sprint races as per normal, but we're also going to bring in a couple of races where we have compulsory use of all tyre compounds. So basically a two-stop race for everybody. So hopefully just to spice it up a little bit. But anyway, talking to spice it, Hammer's now coming round the final turn to cross the line, and he is going to post a 129.185 Behind him we have one of the Ferraris, I think it must be Johnny. And he posts at 29.9. Bog is going to be next at 29.6. So putting himself on the front row next to his teammate. He's then got a gaggle of cars coming through, and I'm not sure which is which, and I don't want to jump to anyone. Brother Adam into 5th, immediately down into 6th as Summers puts his Mercedes even up into 3rd position. Double disqualified from session, blocking the pit lane, so he certainly will be starting last. Right, who do we have out? So Stuart has been round. Connor, let's stay on board with Connor, coming round 130R. Now into the Casio triangle, and a bit of a spin there, so he'll look at regathering. Probably pop into the pits, I would have thought, so he's wasting another lap on those tyres. Oh no, he's still going to go again, so he's confident in what he's got there. Okay, Ralph is coming round. Ralph should pull into the pits now and will retire, so serving his pit stop there. Okay, we've got people coming around, Hammers into the pits, and I'm assuming Stuart will follow him. Yeah, 4.5 seconds down, so Stuart will be coming into the pits. Who do we have actually on a lap? Scully. How is Scully doing? Just heading into sector 1 now. Go through the S's. Up into Dunlop, and down into Degner 1 and 2, and then under the bridge up to the tight hairpin. And we'll see how he's getting on. 33, got no time to actually compare it to, but it wasn't a purple sector. Well, purple sector. Jack has popped up into 2nd place there. Yeah, he's coming in now, so that's the end of his Wazza. We'll keep an eye on Wazza as well, just starting his lap. Stuart looks like he's out again. Did he go for another lap? Just 0.3 down, so he has potentially gone for another lap. Keep with Scully, see how he gets on at the end of the lap there, coming up to 130R. It's a bit terrifying corner that, but easily flat out now. Very hard on the brakes, bit late into the braking there, needs to cut that right hand corner more, slow onto acceleration, so it's not going to be a cracking lap, but it's going to be a banker for him. We're looking at a 31.320. Look, Stuart now coming into the final chicane. And he is going to abort that as well. Okay, so Connor on a lap. He is indeed 2.1 seconds up, but he does need to, currently 7 seconds down on his fastest time. I assume he did, didn't he? He spun at the end of the Casio triangle. We saw that live on the stream. Seeing how Connor gets on going into... Oh, he's invalidated. So not looking good so far for Connor, not managing to get a time on the board. So Wazza now coming around Degner 1 and 2, up under the bridge, up to the hairpin. So good to see a full grid tonight, a full 20 drivers, 18 full-time, and then we have Summers and Honey Badger, who are reserves, but obviously pretty much available each week for a seat. So I say if we can get a few more in for next season, it'd be nice to maybe expand to a 3rd division. I know a lot of the Division 2 guys are racing in Division 1 as well, pretty much week in, week out, taking a race seat there and doing well. It's not as if they're being completely outclassed week in, week out. You know, we have the likes of Stuart and Hammers, who always sort of up there causing problems for the leaders. But yeah, everybody in their skippers picked up points, so it's a pretty close bunch. But we could just do this with a few more in, just to expand it maybe to a third division. Would be ideal. But we'll have a few weeks break. I say everything will be announced soon with regards to sign-ups, calendar, race formats, etc. for next year. We do value your feedback, so if you do have anything to say that's ideally constructive, would be nice. Okay, so Wazza 5th with a 29.5. Little Mike is still in the pits. I think he's got one eye on the Man United Rangers game, currently 0-0, so he's not missing anything so far. Hummer. The furthest around is he is on a lap looking at his DRS. Or his ERS, should I say. So we're coming into the final chicane. We flat out open that DRS. Hug the wall, and there we go, 28.783. So the first man into the 28s. I don't think he will be the last. But 28.783, 4/10 quicker than anybody else. That's a banker and a half set there by Hummer. He's certainly meaning business in the last few races. So he's been very good all season long, just perhaps hasn't had the incidents go in his favour. Okay, so Hammers is now about to start a lap. So who do we have on? Jack is coming towards the end. Purple sector 2 as well, so Jack is on it. Coming up to the chicane, obviously infamous for the Senna Prost incident a good few years back. Fortunately, I'm one of the ones who remembers watching it live. Kazingle also drops into 28, 28.927, but isn't able to overtake Hummer at the moment. So that 28.7 looking like a very good time. Right, okay, so we have the Ferrari coming up, has the Red Bull in front, moves over to the side nicely. So Johnny, what is Johnny going to post on a time? Currently 29.9. Okay, so he's not going to set a time, he's going to go into the pits. Right, who are we? Hammers, I think, is going to be the next driver who has invalidated, so it doesn't actually matter what his time's going to be. We then have, I think it's a Haas is next. Is it little Mikey actually out on track? It is indeed. I don't think he's on a push lap though, looking at his ERS rate there. So I think this could just be a warm-up and a second warm-up lap, sort of a sighter lap for him. Put himself a benchmark down and go again. But Mikey, if you're listening, I'll let you know the score. But Mikey now coming around. So set your benchmark of a 29.775. So I don't think that was a push lap because he didn't hug the wall on the way out. But I also don't think he's got enough ERS to go for a second lap. But we will see. So Brother Adam now coming into the pits. Bog on an outlap. Connor, how's Connor getting on? Connor just going through the S's now. Oh, Connor. I think Connor's struggling a bit with his setup today. It's going a bit wide there. I'll get those cleaned off. You've got enough fuel, give it another run, sir. We've got a lot of time left to come in and put a fresh set of tyres on. Okay, so Stewart is on a lap as well, 3/10 down on his time, so currently only set for a 29.3. And let's see if he has time to make up in sector, well, in the final sector here, going through Spoon and up towards 130R, that sort of area. I know he can gain and lose a lot of time there. And he takes a twitch and you've lost a couple of tenths. So little Mikey, was he going round again? I went the wrong way there. So no, Mikey is into the pits. Connor. Okay, no, Connor invalidated me, so he'll be setting a time, hopefully this lap. Meanwhile, Stuart Abort does come into the pit, so I think freshen the tyres and give it one last shot. We've got a lot of people on out laps. We've got Bogorowski now coming towards the end of the lap. And so last year's champion, not being a smooth a season, I think, for Bog this year. I think his driving has been, as always, you know, pretty, you know, steady, and he's got good pace. Just, I think this year he's been caught up in a couple more incidents than he did last year, and I think that is the difference. Last year, I say, managed to keep out of trouble for pretty much the whole season, which was long overdue, in fairness to him. Whereas this year, I think it's just sort of dragged him down a little bit, but. Currently second place, 28.840, so a good finish for him there. Hammers is on an out lap. Who else do we have? Where's little Mikey is in the pits. So which Alpine is coming around? Is that Connor just about to hopefully post a lap? 4 seconds up, so it's 32 point something. I think he's got more to make up in this final sector here. He's going to bolt. So Connor not having the greatest of evenings so far at Japan. But anyway, Johnny coming into the final sector now through the chicane. We'll hug the wall, cross the line. We'll see what time he can post on the board. Doesn't improve, 29, so Scully will be next. So Scully doesn't improve either. Okay, who is next? I think it's one of the Mercedes, which it is, but he's just about to start a lap. We then have Bogorowski, who is done for qualifying today. Bog has done his stint and he's in the pits. Hammers, meanwhile, his teammate is trying to get that pole position. 4 tenths up on that time at the moment. It's looking good for him. Can he pit Hummer? He does indeed. 28.683 for Hammers. Hummer cannot respond either. He is in the pits. Jack can respond to that. Summer can respond to that. Who else do we have? Wazza, we've got a little, no, yeah, it's Wazza, isn't it, coming across the line. Wazza 3 seconds down, so he is not going to improve. Then we have Summers coming round 130R now up towards Casio Triangle. We'll look at trying to improve on 6th place. A little bit too early on the gas there, missed the apex of the last turn, but we'll see, 131, 32. So no improvement there. We then have Johnny. How's Johnny getting on? 30.2, so 10th place there for Johnny. Who is next? Brother Adam will be next across the line. Currently in 8th. We'll be looking at moving up just a couple of places if he can. Doesn't need an awful lot of time. About 3 attempts to move up a place or two, and he does indeed. Finds half a second up into 6th position for Brother Adam. Kazingle next, purple sector 2 again. He does seem to be good through sector 2. He needs to just start nailing sector 1 and 3, but here he comes now on to the start finish line, hugs that inside line just to save as many tenths as you possibly can. And he doesn't improve at 28.9. And that is qualifying done. Qualifying is complete, so Hammers takes pole position, 28.683, pipping Hummer on a 28.783, so just a tenth in it there. And then got Pogorowski on a 0.840 and Jack on a 28.927, Kazinkel that is. So that's the top four. Then we've got the 29s, which is Stewart in 5th position, Brother Adam in 6th. Excuse me. Summers in 7th, so we've got the Mercedes in 6th and 7th position. So we'll quickly just go through those results now. So as I say, Hammers taking pole position. Joining him on the front row will be Hummer. So Hammers and Hummer. Excellent. It's going to be nice and easy for me. Bog taking 3rd, then Kazingle in 4th, Stewart 5th, Brother Adam 6th, 7th goes to Summers, 8th to Wazza, in 9th to Little Mikey, J5 Gaming in 10th, Honey Badger 11th, 12th goes to Scully, 13th Composite, 14th is Connor, 15th Daniel, 16th Ralph, 17th Riker, Skipper in 18th, Cavolis 19th, and Double at the back of the grid in 20th. So we'll be back shortly for what I understand is going to be a wet race.
No fewer than 12 world champions have been crowned at Suzuka, but who will be tasting glory today at the checkered flag? We're approaching lights out, and we can't wait for the Japanese Grand Prix. A lap of this historic racetrack covers 3.6 miles. It's the only time during the season that we race on a figure-of-8 circuit. And the drivers can expect some intense G-forces through the 18 corners on offer here as they experience some of the highest average apex speeds on the Formula One calendar. Keep an eye out for overtakes into the final chicane.
Well, welcome back, everybody. As you can see, it is wet, wet, wet. Not quite sure yet whether we're going to be looking at inters or full wets to start. In possibility, it's going to dry towards the end, so we could see a change from wets or inters onto the dry tyres at some stage. Again, it's going to make it interesting because it's not a huge amount of traction in this game. So we could see some incidents. Hopefully we'll see some nice close racing. But right, let's have a look and see what tyres everybody has gone for. So intermediate. So it is only intermediate conditions at the moment, which is pretty right, to be honest, looking at the track surface. We've not got any puddles forming, so the inters are going to be good. But we also don't know how long the rain is going to last for. So it looks fairly light. Brother Adam and Waz are getting disqualified from their warm-up lap there. So, yep, we are looking at a wet to dry race, hopefully. So, McLaren's in 1st and 3rd. We've got the 2 Mercedes next to each other in 6th and 7th, 2 Hasses in 8th and 9th, 2 Ferraris in 10th and 11th. That final race of the season. Everyone could go away, have a little bit of a reset. Actually points back to 0 for the first race next season, and we go again. So Hammer's now coming around to take his grid. Obviously 2 cars already there, Brother Adam and Wazza, who were disqualified for the formation lap. They'll have lovely cold intermediates. They're difficult to get temperature into the inters at the best of times, especially when you've been sat there for a minute and a half waiting for everybody else to come around. But Hammers does settle into position. The last person will be Double, who is coming through the chicane now onto the start-finish line. Right, I think we are set. Hammers has overshot his grid position there, as has Connor and Riker. So they're going to find themselves just set a couple of places back. But we're just waiting for the lights now. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. Lights are out and away we go for the Japanese Grand Prix, round number 12, DTR. And it looks like a good getaway by Hammers there. Looking up the inside is Brother Adam, wanting to make as many moves as he can. Pretty clean, bit further back, haven't seen anything to note. So right, let's jump back to the front and see what is going on here. Bogorowski coming under pressure from Kazingo, who managed to, I think, get his way back past Brother Adam. Brother Adam making a bold move up the inside, trying to make up a few places, and he has managed it. He's got himself Wazza down into 10th position. So it seems these two doing polar opposites. But so far so good. We have everybody around. Got a bit of a slider going on in the back there, but nothing too major. Looks like it was Summers going a little bit wide onto the curbing. Whoa! Summers just braking a little bit hard there, losing the back end. Unfortunately, it looks like he might have collected little Mikey. And then we've got a bit of a snarl up going just up ahead. Cars not sure where they need to be. Little Mikey and Daniel battling side by side going into Spoon. No quarter asked, absolutely none given. They're locking wheels here. I think Johnny is sitting behind, waiting to make a move, and there we go. Johnny is past one. Is he going to get himself past little Mikey as well? He doesn't, but he tucks in there. Certainly some battling going on down in the midfield here. The Hammers picking up the fastest lap of the race. Sorry, we're not looking at the leaders at the moment, but we seem to have a nice little fight going on down here, and it would be a shame to miss it. What's going on with Skipper? Oh dear. Looks like Skipper may have collided into the back there. Right, okay. So it seems to be settling down a bit. We've had a few incidents. Double looks like he was involved. I think he might have been in a collision with Skipper. Skipper unfortunately coming off worse, having to pit. Double was starting at the back after disqualification anyway. I think he's struggling just to get away. Kavolis also must have been involved in some first lap shenanigans there, coming into the pits early. Okay, so Hammers has pulled the pin, 1.2 seconds clear of Stewart. Stewart will want to get past Hummer because I think he feels he is the quicker driver under these conditions and will want to go hunting down Hammers as quick as he can. A little bit going on at the back here. Summers struggling a bit, seems to be losing a few positions. I don't know if he's missing an end plate or just struggling under these conditions. He could well have more of a dry setup. So it could well come to him as the race goes on, but half of it is a matter of survival. Got his friend Connor just behind him there, so he's certainly not going to give him easy time and make it easy for him. So Stewart does now make the move on Hummer up into second place. So a 1.3 second gap to bridge to Hammers. Obviously no DRS and these wet conditions, so it's not a matter of getting under a second to get in the DRS, but you certainly want to get as close as you can to get the benefit of the slipstream. And already Stewart has closed down. We're already down to under a second, so it's already 2-3 tenths he has picked out through sector 1. So Stewart feeling confident on these wet tyres. Boggs still staying in touch with Kazingle in 4th position, and they pulled out a nice 1.9 second gap to the chase group of Honey Badger, who has Brother Adam and Wazza directly behind him. Summers and Rika exchanging positions back here. And then behind, I think Rika and Connor also changing positions. Or, yeah, I think, yeah, Rika must have got past Connor. Oh, we've got a Haas off there. Which Haas was that? Did I need to ask? So Wazza seeming to feel the need to not have a front wing there. I think he finds it slowing him down ever so slightly. So we've got virtual safety car. I think because of that incident with Wazza, he'll be coming in and changing that. He's got this fresh set of inters on. But he will be right towards the back of the grid. Can still come good, but certainly not going to be easy. So Hummer has completely been dropped by Stewart and Hammers. They are 1.7 seconds. Well, I mean, Hammers is over 2 seconds clear. Stewart has dropped him by 1.5 seconds. So yeah, Wazza does come into the pits as we thought to get that front nose changed and serve a penalty by the looks of it. Well, let's not sit and watch that because the race is underway again. Stewart losing a little bit of traction there, coming around a little bit hot, but managing to keep it. Hummer now dropping back into the clutches of Kazingle and Bogarovsky. Bog himself just dropping off ever so slightly there. But Bog likes to be conservative under the virtual safety car. I think we've all been caught out too many times getting a stupid drive through because you go into one corner. And here we go, Stewart making a move for the lead. And Hammer saying not today, thank you very much, and firmly closing that door shut. So Stewart will need to find another way round, which it looks like he might do coming up towards 130R. He pulls out to the left. Is Hammers going to let him go? He does. I think Hammers pulled out of that, knowing that he wasn't going to end up in a good position if they went side by side. So still an awful lot of laps to go. 23 laps at the end of this one. So a long, long way to go, and potential changing conditions as well. The grid can get completely shuffled up. Only takes for you to take a gamble and put the dries on a lap or two before everybody else, and you can end up making a lot of positions. Obviously, if you get a safety car at the right time as well, anything can happen in this game. But so Hammer's dropping just a little bit behind Stewart now. I think not as eager to push. As they will want to beat Stewart, I have no doubt, but at the end of the day he has now won the championship, so there's... Does that mean you push more because there's less risk now involved, or do you just back off because you've done it? I think it's probably the former with Hammers. I don't see him backing down from anybody, to be honest with you, so I think he will certainly be up for the fight. So Kazingle has made his way past Hummer. So Hummer struggling a little bit in the wet conditions. Does seem quick in the dry though. So if we get a changeover period, we need to keep an eye on him because I think he could well make some of these positions back. The Skipper getting a 10-second time penalty for corner cuts. It's not going well for Skipper today. We've got a few changes of positions further back here. So Composite, I think, making his way past Connor there. Rika back in 14th now. So it seems to have settled down. Let's jump back to Bogarovsky and see how he is. Stewart banging in a 42.095. Got nearly a 2-second gap to Hammers now. So Stewart is pushing under these intermediate conditions. Obviously feeling very comfortable with the car and with his setup. Again, what you don't want to do is push too hard and end up spinning and damaging your car and throwing away up a nearly 2.5-second gap now. Come down a little bit, but so Daniel looking to make the move on little Mikey. So Mikey, if you're listening, it is still 0-0, no score. Jumped the curb a little bit there, did Mikey, and I think Daniel did exactly the same following his line and braking point just behind. They got Johnny just behind them as well, closing in. A bit of a gap down to Summers, 4-second gap between them, so a little bit of a comfort buffer there. Meanwhile, back at the front of the pack, Stewart 3 seconds clear. He is hand and fist above everybody else in these conditions around this track. And Skipper again. Skipper is not having a wonderful day. He is now going to get lapped. 41.5 for Stewart. Jesus, that's taken half a second off his previous lap. Hammers 3.6 back. Hummer holding off the advances from Bogorovsky. Bog wanting to get up into 4th place. And I'm sure he and Jack can work together to try and get onto the back of Hammers. And the trio of them can work together to try and hunt down Stewart. But it is not easy, certainly when you don't have the DRS. So Johnny now all on the back of little Mikey. So Daniel did make his way past. Looks like it might have unsettled Mikey just a little bit, and so dropped a bit of ground. I'd expect him to make that back. Composite losing 2 positions to Ralph and Scully there, so I have a feeling he might have had a little cross-country excursion. But it looks to have got back on track safely. Doesn't seem to be. And Skipper behind, he's not having a day to remember, bless him. So he is here week in, week out, season after season after season, and I take my hat because he just keeps going. But he has, you know, had the odd occasion like tonight that he's just not his day, but he will keep going. And he will come back next year, and we've also seen some very, very strong performances from Skipper this year and in previous seasons, so I look forward to seeing that continue next year. With him and Composite, I'm sure, teaming up to form the oldest partnership in DTR. Can't remember the exact age, but it is well over 100. That 121, yeah, 120, 130 years experience between the pair of them. Oh, Skipper again. Seems to be that final corner Skipper is struggling with. I wonder if he's got problems with his equipment, because this is, it's not Skipper-esque. So he's making the same mistake each lap under the wet conditions, or he might have an equipment issue. Mikey and Johnny having a bit of a battle back here, and Mikey wanting to keep that position. Looks like Johnny was going to go for it. Saw it flash for a slight overtake, but doesn't. Well, obviously he's not held it because he is now behind him. But yeah, through the hairpin now up towards Spoon. This is where you want to line up your overtake, get as close here, get a decent run coming out of Spoon. if you can get close up the back stretch, either make the move before 130R or going into the Casio triangle. But he is nowhere near close enough at the moment. So battle-wise at the back. Oh, Bog getting past Hummer along the start-finish line. So Bog has now made that move up into 4th position. So he'll look at trying to pull away as quick as he can from Hummer to give himself a little bit of breathing space behind. But he'll also want to close onto the back of... Well, he has closed on the back of Jack already within half a second. That was over a second a lap ago. Wazza is out. Why is Wazza out? Oh, Wazza. We have a safety car. Ay, ay, ay. So it looks like Wazza has crashed coming through and out of 130R. I wonder if he's got a little bit wide, got on that curb, and it has slung him across into the wall. But Wazza becomes our first retirement today. Safety car. What are we gonna do? Is anybody gonna come in and put a fresh set of inters on? So obviously looking at the gaps at the moment, Stuart's got nearly a 5-second gap, but that's misinterpreted because of the safety car. Obviously they'll be driving to the same delta, but some will be close, some will be a bit further away. But the field will now completely bunch up. We'll have 19 drivers in the race. Poor old Skipper is still going to be a lap down though. So he'll be unfortunately unable to take that position back, but Stewart has come into the pits. Hammers has come into the pits, so I assume Jack is probably going to do the same. Yeah, Boggle coming as well. We might have an element of double stack, but it shouldn't be too bad because Hammers is gone. And Bog drives. A small delay, but nothing too bad. Oh, Connor getting us drive through for speeding under the safety car. Right, so Jack leading a group exiting the pits now. Obviously they'll go around and close up onto the back of Hammers behind the safety car. But yeah, it looks like everybody is going for fresh tyres. Other than Daniel making a gamble and staying on his 9-lap-old tyres. As is Scully actually, and Composite. Cavolis Double have already made a pit stop early on, so they're also on sort of 9-lap-old tyres. Yeah, we'll see, but Daniel currently up 13 positions in this race, but does have older tyres on compared to everybody else. Okay, so Daniel playing his Joker as well today, if I remember correctly. Let's just pop it up. Yeah, Daniel is playing his Joker today, so currently sitting in 2nd place. That would be a nice, handsome 36 points for him. Everybody else, so Riker currently down in 14th position. Cavolis in 17th position, and Ralph Albers in 15th. So those three not taking advantage of the Joker as we stand at the moment, but we are only on lap number 10 out of 27, so just over a third distance, and with the potential of this drying up as well, anything can happen, especially with the field now bunched up. So how is the rain? It's pretty much been stable through the race. It's been pretty much this intensity. I haven't seen it change at all. There's certainly still no puddles forming. In fact, there's more of a decent dryish line Certainly nowhere near ready for soft dry tyres yet. Need it to stop, dry up for a few laps, but it is just taking that gamble. And then once we have DRS enabled, you never know what is going to happen. The safety cars stay out for at least another lap because we've got a few stragglers. So Skipper is at the back of the field and is a lap down, so obviously he's not going to be any interference with the leaders, or well, the group that are ahead of him basically. One thing that we hope that they will bring in is the ability to unlap yourself, because it would be really good if they allowed that to happen, but it's not been present for the last few games. I doubt it is high on their agenda for the next one. Hopefully working on the handling, the game physics, and certainly the penalty system. I think that needs a review, but not sure when he's out this year, but fingers crossed there will be an improvement. So double look at a close up, they're just out of the hairpin, so he doesn't have long to go to catch up. Skipper still quite a way back though. I'm not sure if the safety car will wait for him to catch up. Skipper going through Degner 2. It's one corner he seemed to have had massive issues with today, and he has it again there. Also up towards the hairpin. I noticed he was struggling a little bit. Just trying too hard and braking too late. Need to be on the brakes a little bit earlier, my friend, and you will be fine. But he's trying to race now to go and catch up the safety car, but the safety car's staying out for another lap. So he doesn't need to rush. He doesn't need to destroy those tyres just to try and catch up. It seems good through there. I'm not sure 130R. We'll just have a quick look. But it does seem to be the final chicane, the Casio triangle, that he really seems to struggle. I think we've had quite a few corner cut penalties for him there. So pretty good here. No, that's good. That's good. Just needs to be a little bit earlier on the brakes on some of the corners, and I think he'll find himself start to enjoy himself a little bit more. But it's difficult when you see the cars behind the safety car and you're so far back. You do put your foot down as hard as you can to try and catch up. Sometimes you can just put yourself in a position you don't need to. So he will definitely catch up now. He should catch up before the hairpin. He just needs to be careful of the bunch ahead slowing down. The last thing you want is to crash into the back of someone or have to slam on the anchors and spin off. So they are heading up towards the hairpin now, so he should see them as he turns this corner. Indeed he does, just disappearing around the right hand there before the hairpin. So we will be back under green flag conditions at the end of this race. Safety car will peel in. TGL Stewart will become the safety car, well, the pace car basically, and he will dictate when he goes. Daniel and the rest of the pack behind him will have to just wait and see. We'll have to try and anticipate when he is going to go. But I don't envisage too many places being made up off of the start here. Safety car is indeed in this lap, so we will be go again. Lap number 12 about to be completed. Will give us 15 racing laps left. Pit stop not mandatory no longer under wet conditions. You can take a set of intermediate tyres from the start of the race to the end of the race. Has been done before. I think Brandon did it a few seasons back where he took it the whole race. Brazil, I think it was. So Stewart has gone Doesn't look like Daniel reacted quite so quickly there. Hammers did, and is on the back of him now. Whether he goes for a move, obviously we have fresh versus 8-lap old tyres here. Connor comes into the pits. That's to drive that safe. Put my teeth back in to serve that drive-through penalty that he got for speeding under the safety car. So we'll be at the back of the pack, but not at the back of the pack, if you get me, because Skipper is a lap down. So he still finds himself in 18th rather than 19th and last, but I expect Connor to make up a little bit of time there. He'll soon be on the back of Skipper and pushing to make a few overtakes. Wouldn't write him out of points. So Aston Martin looking strong in this race so far, 2nd and 4th. So Bulk did lose out to Hummer under that safety car pit stop. We thought he might have done him ever so slightly, held up by Hammers in front of him, and Hummer was all over his backside coming into the pit. So it was always likely he was going to lose that position, but just one position is not bad. And we have Mikey making a move on Summers up into the top 10. Manchester United Rangers is 0-0 at half time for anybody that is interested. Oh, we got a little bit going off grass there, little Mikey and Scully. Not quite sure what happened there, who was to blame. So Stewart pumping in another fastest. What on earth is going on with these two in front? And that was very sportive by Mikey there. Yeah, 10-second penalty. Did look like, I'm not sure if he lost traction at the back, but it did look like he swerved into him ever so slightly. But whoa, there's. Right, no, that's taking the piss, guys. It really is. That's not league racing, that's open lobbies with looks like Summers got caught up in that as well. I think he lost his front wing, which he has. Oh, Connor, not again. Jesus, mate. Honestly, another drive-through penalty. I feel your pain. We've got a virtual safety car. And Connor has again got caught speeding under the virtual safety car. He must just about be ready to throw in the towel, I think, tonight. It's, bless you, mate. I feel your pain. I've had my share of drive-throughs that have, yeah, been very annoying. But yeah, not quite sure what was going on between Scully and little Mikey there, but that's not good. It's caused damage to another driver. That's not what we really want to see, guys. But Mikey now has a broken front wing, so he'll be coming into the pits. I assume Scully got away. No, Scully has, yeah, Scully's lost his front end plate. Summers has got to come in for a new wing because of that. So they're all losing positions now. Right, anyway, let's concentrate back on the racing at the front. So Stewart has kept the lead of the race and did pull away. Oh, it's full safety car. It still says virtual safety car on my screen, and I'm looking at the safety car going round. So, yeah, second safety car of the afternoon. Does look like the rain is easing up. That doesn't look as heavy as it did 2-3 laps ago. So where are we? So Mikey out in 17. I have to admit, I mean, after saying what I did, I mean, there's potential that the game could be saying there's an illegal overtake, so they are sort of fighting to let each other past. But unfortunately, it did cause a bit of mayhem for Summers behind. So not ideal, but there could be reasons behind it. I don't want to be overcritical without knowing any facts. So Hammers will still have his eye on winning this race. Connor picking up another 3-second time penalty. What are the penalty situations? We've got 10 seconds to Daniel, 10 seconds to Mikey, 26 seconds to Skipper. Connor got a drive through, and I think he's got penalties on top of that as well. But Connor and Skipper going for the medium tyre. That is a ballsy gamble, because it is still racing. Racing? Yes, we're still racing. But it is also still raining whilst we're racing. So that is a bit of a ballsy thing to do. We have to keep an eye on them, just to see how they're doing. Hammer's going over into the wet to keep those tyres cool. That's a very, very sensible thing to do. Just get the core temperature down, as they can overheat so quickly once we get to these changeable conditions. But I have to admit, Connor and Skipper could have played an absolute blinder here. If the rain stops and it dries up pretty damn quick, and we'll probably be racing at the end of this lap if everybody closes up on the safety car. So it might be a lap early, or a lap or two early. Well, Skipper cutting the corner there. I think that's probably down to... Oh no, it's his favourite one at the end again, the Casio triangle. So he is nothing but consistent. Mikey has come into the pits also for a set of medium tyres. So Mikey taking a gamble on dry tyres compared to everybody else. We'll just keep the tyres up for now, just so we can see how the dry tyres are doing compared. Just want to see how Mikey's getting on. Looks like he's struggling a bit for traction. Will do if he goes off onto the wet patch there. You want to stay on that dry as much as you can. Pretty much going to be perfect with your line. But Mikey will be a good gauge. So will Connor. But I do think this might be too early. Well, yeah, it's too early. And so they're going to be struggling to catch up with the safety car, let alone anything else. And then when we are back to full racing speed, I think they're going to struggle. Yeah, just got no brakes. No, a few laps too early. And so if anything, the rain looks like it has got a little bit heavier than it did at the beginning of the last lap. So we will see. He now closes up onto the back, but the safety car is not going to come in on this lap because it is going to give Mikey and Skipper a chance to catch up. But nobody else at the moment taking a gamble onto dry tyres, but lots of drivers now going across to cool their tyres down. Rather than doing the opposite, in fact trying to heat them up. But oh, Skipper. Is that the last corner again? It is, isn't it? Skipper's going to get disqualified, I think, at this rate. I think that's about 36 seconds of penalties. 46 seconds of penalties. Yeah. So Connor has given up on the idea of the dry tyres. I think that's pretty sensible at the moment, but you know what's going to happen. He's come in and done that. He's probably going to stop racing now. Law of Sod, I think that is called. But he will certainly be a lot more confident and comfortable on these inters at the moment. You can see the speed is massive compared to what it was. He's pretty much already caught up Mikey. And Mikey's still struggling to catch up on the back of the lead group. Well, Skipper. I say lead group. So Connor has now joined the back of the grid. So we will be going at the end of this lap. Stewart will look at making a jump again on Daniel, the same as he did last time. He's put himself out about, well, pretty much 0.6 of a second down the start finish line, and then just managed to pull away as best he could. And then unfortunately another safety car has bunched the field back up, but here we go, official announcement that the safety car is in. So Stewart will become the pace car. Keep a nice steady pace. He's gone. He's caught Daniel sleeping. Absolutely sleeping he was there. Jeez, what a restart. 1.7 seconds clear by the time he crosses the start finish line. Daniel, you were fast asleep, young man. So Honey Badger making the move on Bogorovsky there. Bog will take a lap or two just to get himself going, but he'll keep the rhythm going. At the back, I think these guys, yeah, they're way off the pace, already nearly 4 seconds down. Right, okay, so let's get back to the front where Hammers is now putting... Daniel just lost it there by the looks of it. I don't think there was any contact until Daniel... Oh, now he's been disqualified for pointing in the wrong direction. Well, that's how it goes from good to absolutely crap with F1 24. You can be in such a good position and then something like that happens. You try and turn around to get back onto the, you know, pointing in the right direction, and you'll get disqualified. So, amazing game. Absolute amazing game. But anyway, Kazingle now nearly 4 seconds behind Stewart, and Hammer's taking the brunt of that down into 6. Have a quick check, see if he got any end plate damage there. I wouldn't be surprised if he's missing, I think, front, yeah, front left end plate he has lost. So unfortunate for him. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happened in that incident. I say, to me, I just called it out the corner of my eye, but it did look like Daniel had actually lost the back and was spinning round, and unfortunately Hammers had nowhere to go but into him. So yeah, there was definitely contact there, but I think Daniel was spinning anyway. I may be completely wrong and he may have been tagged, but just from what I could see, he didn't. But so I have been proved wrong many times before, and I'm sure one day, you know, very soon I will be proved wrong again. But Bog in 5th position, looking to chase down that Ferrari of Honey Badger. So it's Summers and Scully. Ralph pointing in the wrong direction. You need to wait, Ralph. Okay, now you can go, my friend. Good rejoin to track. So unfortunate for Ralph, down into 15th. So far no advantage of playing the Joker. So not into double points. So Mikey and Skipper persisting with those medium tyres, but the rain just hasn't stopped, and I can't see that this line is getting any drier. But Mikey is 4.3 behind Ralph, but we'll keep an eye on that just to see when and if that gap starts closing. So Honey Badger looking to try and cool those tyres down, so might have a little bit of an overheating problem there. Brother Adam now all over the back of Hammers, who has lost touch with Bogorovsky, but he will do considering he is now missing that left front end plate. We're certainly going to find that right-handers are a little bit more difficult than he'd like. considering turn 1 is a huge right-hander. He's going to struggle there. Skipper picking up another time penalty. My God, Skipper, honestly, are you going for the record, my friend? That is 49 seconds of penalties. So Ralph now giving it a go on the medium tyres. So little Mikey 15 seconds behind double. That is our gauge at the moment, and it's nearly 16 seconds now, so it's going up rapidly. So still medium tyres are not the tyre to be on. Stewart is just, he's like a machine tonight, 39.0. So we are drying up, we're certainly getting drier and drier. But Mikey to double, that gap is now 17 seconds. So it's still nowhere near dry tyre compound. But this is where the main battle is. Currently Summers looking to make a move around the outside of Riker, and does. So Summers back up into 10th position after that front wing change. Right, let's get back up to this group because Hammers has now closed right up on the back of Bogorovsky. I think getting used to the feel of that McLaren without that front end plate. As it takes a couple of laps just to get used to, but once you do, you can drive pretty well without a front end plate. I suppose it just depends on the track. But Hammer's now feeling a little bit more confident, so overtakes Bogorovsky and will go on the hunt of Honey Badger in front. And then possibility of the final place of the podium. I think the front two steps have gone now. I mean, Stewart seems to be in a completely different postcode to everybody else today. Jack has managed to pull out a nearly 2.5 second gap on third place, so again he's looking comfortable, but Stewart disappearing around turn 1 just as third place Hummer was heading on to the start finish line, so it has the complete straight clear of everybody, or of third place should I say. So little Mikey 17.8, 17.7, so it seems to be slowing down the increasing gap. I mean, the rain is lighter, I think, than it was again a few laps ago, but it's just not stopping. It's not allowing for that dry line to form. Honey Badger getting a little bit out of shape there, going through Degner 2, but manages to regroup it, heading up into the hairpin, takes a nice tight line. Hammer's looking to benefit, getting good traction out of that turn. Is he going to make a move heading down into Spoon? Well, I don't think he is. Bog has dropped way off now. So Bog, I think, suffering a little bit with the tyres. Again, just looking at that tyre, the medium tyres 17.7. So, I mean, Mikey is... The DRS has enabled, so we are on dry tyres now. So Stewart doesn't. Jack doesn't. Hummer doesn't. Is anybody going to gamble? I say we have DRS been enabled. Brother Adam is gambling, as is Johnny. Summers keeps going. Riker is in. Scully's in. Double, is he going to come in? No. That's it. Yeah, so a lot of them are obviously going for the soft tyres now, which are Wouldn't be too bad in dank conditions. Obviously, Connor now probably spitting on the floor at his poor luck tonight. So taking a gamble. Yeah, little Mikey straight away, fastest lap, 38.09. And that gap to Scully has, well, it's reduced massively, but Scully has come into the pits and it was double ahead of him. Anyway, so let's ignore that. So, right, okay, we have a race on. Hammers around the outside of Honey Badger. Honey Badger getting a little bit out of shape, just getting on the grass on the inside and giving up that position to Hammers. Hammers now has a 2-second gap to Hummer in front if he wants to claim that final point of the podium. Skipper, how? 59 seconds, that's nearly a minute. You're not going to be finished till tomorrow, mate. Jesus. Right, okay. Right, Brother Adam is the lead dry tyre. Bog now going on. Bog came in when I'm... No, it said Bog was on. Stewart now coming in. Oh, Stewart, you could have thrown this away. Four laps to go. If they stay out... Ooh la la. Oh, this will be interesting. Honey Badger has pitted as well, so we've got a real split group now. But little Mikey 35.430. What was Hammer's last lap? Hammer's last lap was a 137 against a 135, so that's 2 seconds a lap. That the mediums are quicker, but he's going to be close. But if they stay out, depends how much a drop off is. But yeah, we are pretty much dry as a bone now. It hasn't taken long for this track to dry out. Is anyone at the front going to make a gamble and go for a well, not stopping till the end of the race? I have to see. Jack. Yeah, staying out. Hummer's staying out. Hammer's staying out. Bog, you're going to have to stay out. Is staying out. Cavolis is staying out. Although Stewart says, I don't care if it's staying out. I'm coming through. So Stewart up into 5th position. Let's have a look at the gap to the leader. So he's got 10.2 seconds to make up. And 4 cars to pass if he wants to win this race. Always so difficult when you're the lead car what to do, because whatever you do, the ones behind have the upper hand because they can counteract it. And obviously under this occasion they have decided to stay out. Doesn't mean it's the right decision, but it certainly makes things a little bit more complex for Stewart than he would have liked. It's now closed right up onto the back of Bogorovsky and driven into the back of Bogorovsky by the looks of it. Although no damage there. But Bog not giving up on this position, but Stewart has the superior grip, especially going through Spoon. Goes a little bit wide and Bog comes back on the inside. So Bog not making it easy. But Stewart does now take that position and he's up into 4th position. Although I think Bog would like that back if he can. Obviously he's going to have the DRS down the start-finish line. So it could still become a bit of a nuisance to Stewart. Oh, Stewart getting such a good drive out there under DRS doesn't even help. You're only going to close up. 32.8. So Bog closing. Is he going to go for a move? I don't think he is. No, he isn't. So 6 seconds Stewart needs to make up in 2 laps. It is totally doable for him. Let's get rid of pretty much most of that information now. I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up the pens just so we can see. But yeah, skipper 59 seconds. That is honestly the most I have ever seen. Connor with 12 seconds, little Mikey with 3, and brother Adam with 3, and that obviously doesn't include any that have been served during the race. But Stuart 2 seconds now behind Hammers and Hummer. So it looks like the right decision was to come in and go onto the dry tyres. But I do think they will have secured themselves a podium here. Honey Badger now making his way past Jack up into 6th position, obviously on those dry tyres. So Stuart now will be licking his lips looking at these two slow, I say slow drivers, then certainly not slow drivers, but slower drivers in front on the intermediate tyres. But he needs to pick and choose where he gets through, because although he is a huge amount quicker, still not easy to overtake. It does have the superior grip there, so goes for the move. It will now be all over the back of Hammers, wanting to make that move. Hammers just going a little bit wide. And Stuart saying, thank you very much, I'll have that inside line. But Hammers saying, no, you do not. I am going to hang on to this. But Stuart has such a superior grip. And Hammers is round. Not sure if that was due to contact or whether that was just due to tyres. But Hammers picking it back up, needs to get going again to retain that 2nd position, because Honey Badger is hot on the heels of what the hell happened to Jack, actually. Not quite sure about that. He was sitting in 2nd place, quite comfortable. But we have the champions this year of McLaren in 2nd and 3rd on the podium. But star of today, I have to hand it to you, Stuart. You have been a class above everybody else. In the wet, you were just solid and disappeared. And then you chose the dry tyres at exactly the right time. Let's be honest, I wasn't 100% sure, but considering he has now won the Grand Prix by a huge amount, what is going on here? Looks like Hammers and Bog losing the position to Honey Badger, so Hammers will get the final podium position. Honey Badger getting home in 3rd, Bog in 4th. Cavolis will come home in 5th. Hummer will get 6th. 7th, and a recovery from D Summers, and Johnny J5 going in 8th. Little Mikey will get 9th position, but drop to 10th behind Rika now in 9th. Scully will come home in 11th. Brother Adam will come home in 12th. Then we've got Ralph 13th, just coming up to Casio Triangle now to finish the lap. And his race, we then have Composite coming across in 14th, 15th to double. Zingle crashing out on the final lap, so it all went wrong for him in those final few laps. But Connor is going to come home in 16th position. Connor through in 16th, and then Skipper, who I think will be glad to see the back of this race. A lap and a lap and a half behind, and 59 seconds worth of penalties. But hats off to you, my man, you completed the race. The driver today, Cavolis. We'll run through the final results in just a moment, but that brings down the curtain on season number 12. There's some good racing in there, some incidents that probably need to be discussed, and some apologies may be made. There we go, Stuart taking the top step of the the podium there. And Honey Badger taking, I think, his first podium of the year. So let's run through the results. So Stewart taking the win, Honey Badger in second, Hammers in third, Bogrovsky in fourth, Cavolis fifth, Hummer sixth, seventh goes to Summers, eighth J5 Gaming, ninth Riker, 10th Little Mikey, 11th Scully, 12th Brother Adam, 13th Ralph Albers, 14th Composite, 15th Double, 16th Connor, 17th Kazingle. Then we have Skipper as our last finisher, Daniel, and Waza unfortunately not making it to the end of the Grand Prix. Well, thank you so much, because you have made it to the end of this week's stream. You've also made it to the end of season number 11. As I say, we'll be back in, I think it's going to be sometime towards the end of February. We should be starting the new season, but announcements will be out soon along with sign-ups. Overall, it's been a fantastic season. Hammers has been a deserved champion, to be honest with you. TGL Stewart has pushed him very, very hard. Hummer also has been strong this year. There's been a lot of good performances, and has always been an absolute pleasure to watch Division 2 and to commentate on them. So from myself, for a final time, I will say good night and thank you for listening.